Welcome to the deep dive. If you are, navigating the modern dating landscape, it's tricky territory,
Definitely. The whole swipe economy promises so much connection, right?
but delivers often just this rotating cast of characters
Uh,
and their real life behavior. It rarely matches those curated profile photos. And
mhm.
we're not just talking about like awkward dates here, we're talking about actual danger.
It's a really profound problem.
Mm.
It comes down to something we call informational asymmetry.
Okay, explain that a bit.
Well, think about it. Apps like Hinge, Bumble,
Yeah.
they give you this potential match based on maybe a few flattering pictures, a short bio.
Right, like 100 character.
Exactly. And that's all vetted. It's the shiny digital version. But
Yeah.
what you get when you meet in person, that's the unvetted physical reality.
And that gap, that asymmetry, that's where the danger lies.
Precisely. Because someone might be deliberately using that gap to target or manipulate you. It's
Mm.
inherently risky.
So your mission today,
Yeah.
it's to move past just the shocking stories and do some genuine red flag forensics.
Yeah, we've looked at a whole stack of user-submitted dating stories, and they really run the gamut, don't they?
Oh, yeah. From like socially awkward moments that just make you cringe
Mhm.
to moments of real, like, visceral fear. Genuine danger.
And the goal isn't just to share anecdotes. We need to extract patterns.
Right. Categorize things.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because knowing the difference between, say, a clumsy attempt at a date and an actively escalating threat, that's critical.
So we're breaking down these narratives, stories about emotional manipulation, financial scams.
Deeply unsettling digital stalking and, yeah, even scenarios involving physical menace.
Okay, let's jump right in then. We'll start with a really terrifying example of what we're calling 0 to 100 escalation.
Mhm.
We're calling this case the Hinge profile reporter, or maybe the tattoo apprentice story.
Yes, this one. It perfectly shows how quickly that sort of psychological control can appear and then shift into a dedicated physical threat.
What's fascinating right off the bat is how the red flags start. Not with anything personal, really, but with professional prejudice.
That's right. And then it just accelerates. These really personal, aggressive demands for her to completely change her life.
And this user, she was clearly identified on Hinge, right?
Mm.
3-year tattoo apprentice.
Yep, clear as day on her profile.
Yeah.
And she'd only just exchanged numbers with this guy. Barely started talking.
And the conversation just went off the rails almost immediately.
Instantly.
Well.
The moment she confirmed her career, he didn't just, disagree. He dismissed her entire reality.
Said he thought she was just a receptionist at the studio.
Yeah. And insisted her actual job, her apprenticeship, was something she should be misled out of. His words.
Wow. That's the first layer of control then, defining her worth based on his ideas.
Exactly. But then it gets worse. The unprompted aggressive insults start flying.
Okay.
He leaps to these extreme generalizations about our whole industry. He literally states, these are quotes from the text,
Let's hear them.
almost all tattoo artists are pill poppers and have a bad past. And the kicker,
Uh-oh.
most have been to jail.
Just, wow. The sheer audacity. He swiped right on her profile, presumably liked her pictures, knew her job,
Knew her aesthetic,
and
probably.
then decides her entire life needs fixing to fit his fantasy future.
That's the 0 to 100 escalation right there. Within literally a few texts, having never met.
Never met.
He suggests she quit her 3-year apprenticeship
Unbelievable.
and starts talking about marriage, future kids, his reasoning. He doesn't want his hypothetical children around that kind of environment of shrug dealers and jail thugs.
Drug dealers, is that even a thing? He's demanding she throw away 3 years of work for a future with him. That's total stranger.
And when she quite naturally responded by calling him effing crazy.
Which seems restrained, honestly.
Right. He didn't back down, didn't apologize. Instead, he just doubled down with aggressive misogyny to, keep control.
So what was his final sign-off?
Oh, it's a classic example of toxic entitlement,
Yeah.
like pure narcissistic injury when she didn't just obey.
Okay.
He claimed she was wasting her potential on feminist propaganda, said she'd only make a good housewife or a children's book illustrator.
Wow. Define her options for her.
And his last instruction was a command: don't text me again until you start thinking logically about our relationship.
Our relationship. He positions himself as the logical one, and her refusal is illogical.
Precisely. Like her rejecting him is some kind of mental defect. He just needs to wait out.
Okay, but the story doesn't end there, right? She blocks him, reports him.
Yep, wisely blocks him everywhere, reports him to Hinge, and Hinge actually permanently bans his profile, which suggests they agreed his behavior was way out of line.
Good on Hinge. But this is where the stalking phase begins, and it gets genuinely terrifying.
Yeah, it transitions from just digital arrogance to dedicated malicious pursuit.
Because a normal person would just move on after being blocked and banned.
A reasonable, healthy person accepts rejection. Yes. This guy. He took the silence as a challenge.
What did he do first?
Well, first he tried texting again. Hello? Are you thinking logically about our future now? Just completely ignored the block. Then, when she stayed silent, he started the digital hunt. Found her on Facebook.
Okay, but wasn't her Facebook private?
That's the scary part. She had her privacy settings totally maxed out. Friends lists, private, unsearchable, everything locked down.
And he still found her.
Still found her. Just using her first name and her hometown.
That takes dedication. That takes time. That's not casual.
No, it shows a real willingness to violate privacy.
Yeah.
This was clearly not just some fleeting interaction for him.
So she blocks him on Facebook, too. What next?
He just keeps going, moves to Instagram, still texting her main number, even though she had blocked him there too. He just refused to accept the boundary. Every block was just like a technical hurdle for him.
And then it moves offline. This is the critical shift, right? When digital harassment becomes physical risk.
Exactly. He somehow found the address of her specific tattoo studio, which was unlisted, not posted anywhere publicly.
How?
We'll get to that. But his text message, chilling. I'll be at place of work tomorrow. Is that the best time to pick you up for lunch?
Just assuming she'd go after all that.
Total lack of awareness.
Yeah.
Or, more likely, deliberate intimidation.
So how did he get the address on her schedule? You said it was unlisted.
Okay, this part is brilliant and disturbing. It's pure social engineering. He used targeted deception. He called the studio and pretended to be her cousin.
No way.
Yes. And get this, he even knew the actual cousin's name. Because that cousin had apparently been tattooed by the studio owner before.
So knowing the name made him sound legit to whoever answered the phone.
Exactly. He asked the receptionist for her schedule, and the receptionist, assuming it was family, gave him her specific work hours.
Oh, my.
And then he used that specific info in his threat text. I called, and the lady said you'd be there at 3 for a tattoo. He's proving he knows where she'll be, physically, confirming his presence in her reality.
So she finally breaks her silence, tells him to leave her alone.
And he just doubles down again, claims her fears just because of her trauma from whatever liberals you dated in your past.
Still blaming her, still trying to fix her. He cannot process rejection.
Nope. Has to externalize the blame, rationalize his control as some kind of benevolent act.
Okay, so the aftermath and police response. This part is frustrating, but really important for people to understand, right?
Absolutely essential. Because it shows the real-world limits of protection sometimes.
She didn't go to work, obviously, told her boss, went straight to the police with all the screenshots.
Which is exactly what you should do. But this is where you hit the legal wall of imminent threat.
What did the police say?
They were sympathetic, apparently, but explained that since nothing had happened in person yet.
They'd never actually met face-to-face.
Right. And the harassment was purely digital up to that point.
Yeah.
They couldn't issue a warrant or make an arrest immediately.
So even though he found her work address and said he was coming, that wasn't enough.
Not for immediate legal action like an arrest, apparently.
Yeah.
They offered to patrol the area, which is good. But the actionable advice was grim. She could only get a restraining order if he actually showed up at her workplace.
That distinction is huge. Digital stalking is terrifying, but it often doesn't meet the legal threshold for preventative action until there's an actual physical attempt.
Which is exactly why building that paper trail is absolutely non-negotiable.
Every screenshot, every blocked account, every message.
Everything. Because that evidence is what you need the moment the threat crosses that line from digital harassment to a verifiable physical attempt or presence.
And the user regretted losing the early Hinge messages, right, when his account got banned.
Yeah, she specifically mentioned that. Reinforces the need. Screenshot immediately. Even if it just seems like mild arrogance or weirdness at first. Because 0 to 100 is not just a phrase. It's a real, documented path some people take.
Okay, that's a perfect segue. Let's talk about situations where intuition becomes, like, literally life-saving. We're moving into stories now where the danger wasn't just theoretical, it was immediate, physical. And the users got out because they listened to that deep gut feeling.
And we really need to treat intuition as this powerful, almost evolutionary resource, you know?
Yeah.
It integrates thousands of tiny signals your conscious brain might miss.
Right. These next stories often often involve being alone in private spaces, apartments, houses, where subtle details just screamed danger, even if the person seemed okay on the surface.
Exactly. Violating that basic rule.
Mm.
Don't go somewhere private with a stranger on a first date.
Okay, let's start with the war guy and the musket.
Ah,
So this user met a guy who seemed quiet. The date ends, there's a sudden rainstorm.
classic scenario.
And she accepts his offer to wait for her Uber at his place. Right there, she's alone, vulnerable, private space. Rule number 1 broken.
And as soon as she walks into his apartment, she describes this feeling. Like a sudden, horrible drop in her stomach.
A physical reaction.
Yeah, a physical reaction she tried to rationalize away as just nerves. But her internal alarm bells, they were ringing for a reason, based on the evidence right there in his home.
Okay, what was the evidence?
First, the decor. Hanging right above his television. A full 17th or 18th century era musket.
A musket, like a historical weapon.
Yeah, an antique firearm, proudly displayed. And is surrounded by paintings, all depicting war scenes.
Okay, that's specific and kind of intense.
Very intense. And when she asked about it, trying to make conversation, he just confirmed the vibe. Yeah, I guess you could say I'm a war guy.
A war guy. Okay, red flag number 1, maybe number 2 and 3 as well.
Definitely. The message is clear. He identifies with violence, with conflict. But it gets more specific. A coffee table. She expected maybe, military history books or something.
Makes sense with the theme.
Instead, she found several books about serial killers, including a big biography on Ted Bundy.
Oh, wow, okay. That's not a casual hobby, that's a fixation.
It's a carefully chosen signal, whether conscious or not, of a fixation on control, violence, maybe psychopathy.
So the atmosphere is already incredibly tense. Then what happens?
Then his phone rings. He looks at the caller ID, turns right to her, his date, and says, get this.
I'm bracing myself.
H, this is my bitch-ass ex-girlfriend. I was hoping she wouldn't make this mistake again. She knows what's going to happen.
He said that to her, about his ex.
Directly to her.
Yeah.
That's the moment the abstract threat, the musket, the books, becomes concrete and personal.
He's basically telling her he has a history of violence towards women.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And delivering the proof right there. So she immediately, smartly, texts her sister, sets up the classic out.
The fake emergency call?
Yep. Missing dog, panic attack. She said her sister deserved an Oscar for the performance.
Good sister. But did he let her leave easily?
No. That's the next chilling part. As she's getting ready to leave, his whole demeanor changes. From casual date to controlling captor.
How?
He gets serious, looks at her and says, well, I can't let you leave this soon now, can I?
Whoa. Okay, that's not a joke.
She tried to walk it back immediately, saying, just kidding. But the threat was made. The boundary was aggressively breached.
And then?
The final power play. As she's literally walking out the door, he says, have a great night. I hope the elevator's working so you can make it out.
Implying he could stop her. Or had interfered with it.
Exactly. That subtle threat about her escape route sent her running down the stairs, skipping the elevator entirely.
Smart move. The lesson here seems pretty clear.
Believe the red flags. When someone shows you who they are through decor, books, casual death threats about exes, believe them, and get out. Execute the escape plan.
Okay, the next story. It's almost unbelievable. Like something out of a movie, but it's real.
The real-life Hannibal? Or the crockpot story?
So this user meets a guy named Joe from Tinder at his college apartment. But she made one crucial decision beforehand.
The life-saving decision. She brought her friend Megan.
Never meet a stranger alone in a private place. That rule again.
It fundamentally saved both their lives here, no question.
So they're at his apartment. He puts on a movie, a horror movie about a cannibal.
Which is weird, unsettling, maybe just a clumsy choice on its own.
Maybe, but then the user goes to the bathroom.
And what she finds is definitely not a coincidence. Behind the toilet, there's a framed painting.
Okay, of what?
A painting of a man who looked disturbingly like the date Joe, eating someone's leg.
Eating someone's leg. Okay, that's not just a red flag, that's a 5-alarm fire.
That's DEFCON 1. The alarm bells go from 0 to deafening siren instantly.
So what do? Just run?
Well, Megan, the friend, really steps up here as a critical thinker. When the user tells her about the painting, they realize they kind of need to confirm the threat level before just bolting, maybe? It's a risky calculation.
What does Megan suggest?
Megan suggests checking the fridge. Bold move. Dangerous.
And Joe's reaction.
Immediately defensive. They start to move towards the fridge, and he intercepts them. No, I'll get it, you sit down, I'll get the water.
His defensiveness confirms it. He's hiding something in there.
Exactly. So they quickly devise their escape plan. Megan uses the old, I need my meds from the car excuse.
Classic. Requires him to walk them out.
Right. Needs Joe to chivalrously escort them both downstairs, crucially leaving the user alone in the apartment for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, this is tense. What did she find in the fridge?
During those 5 minutes alone, she finds a crock pot with a lid on.
And inside?
Inside the crock pot, and this is quoting the original submission, a fucking finger in there, a digit in a dark-colored liquid.
Oh my God. A human finger.
A human finger in a crock pot
Hmm.
in his fridge. They executed their escape plan immediately, got out of there. Megan later filed a detailed police report, the fear level she described, Mach 10 level.
If we connect this back to that informational asymmetry,
Yeah.
the painting, the finger in the crock pot, that was the horrifying truth hiding behind the curated Tinder profile of Joe.
Absolutely. And the life-saving mechanism wasn't just finding the finger.
Yeah.
It was the decision to bring Megan.
Right. Having a witness, an escape partner.
She wouldn't have had the distraction, the backup, the crucial 5 minutes alone to check the fridge if she had gone by herself.
Yeah.
She might never have gotten out.
This wasn't just awkwardness or projection. This was calculated clinical level malice.
Pure malice. Chilling.
Okay, one more in this really dangerous category, the Yonkers ambush.
This one is about aggressive pursuit combined with a plan that relies on isolation.
So a guy is really aggressively trying to get this woman to go on a date, pushing hard.
Yeah, suggest driving to a supposed hidden gem restaurant way out in Yonkers, like 40 minutes outside Manhattan.
Remote location alarm bell number 1.
Oh.
But she smartly decides to drive herself.
Crucial move. Maintaining control of her transportation, her exit strategy.
So as she's driving out there, she puts the restaurant address into her GPS, and the GPS says the place is closed. Permanently closed, maybe.
Okay, definite red flag. What does the guy say?
He tries to brush it off, says, oh, they're really bad at updating their hours. Uh-huh, sure. That should have been the absolute final out right there. Turn around.
You'd think so, but she kept driving the 40 minutes. Maybe felt committed, maybe didn't want to seem difficult.
Arrives, and the parking lot is completely empty, dark, business clearly closed.
The trap is set, isolated location, no witnesses.
She starts to panic, obviously, puts her car in reverse to get out of there.
And then what?
As she starts backing up, another car pulls up immediately right beside her, blocks her easy path out.
Whoa! Waiting for her. Coordinated.
It definitely felt like it. She didn't wait to find out. She hit the gas, maneuvered out of there, and fled immediately.
Smart. Fast reaction. And the confirmation that it was malicious.
Came later. She checked the dating app. He had already unmatched her profile.
There it is. The date was never about dinner. It was a planned encounter.
In a remote, vulnerable location designed to isolate her, possibly with help waiting in that second car.
Why insist on a remote spot? Minimize witnesses, maximize control. The unmatching proves it. Plan failed. Profile dumped. He wasn't interested in rescheduling dinner.
Okay. We've dissected these really frightening cases where boundaries were crossed violently. Let's shift gears a bit now.
Right. Let's talk about the boundary violations that signal profound emotional chaos.
Yeah.
Maybe not immediate physical danger, but deep psychological issues.
The stuff we're calling the icks. Some of these are way beyond just icks. They're major psychological and social red flags.
Exactly. And these behaviors are crucial to recognize because they often indicate deep self-involvement, serious projection, maybe even emotional disturbance.
They might not end with a musket incident, but they definitely guarantee misery and a huge waste of your time and energy.
Absolutely. Let's start with the truly spectacular example of arrogance, the finance bro.
Oh, this one. The sheer ego was apparently immediate, like right out of the gate.
Yeah, the user said he dominated the first 10 minutes just talking about drama with the woman that works below me.
Classy start. Then what?
Then he patronizingly asks his date, who, by the way, was clearly intelligent and accomplished if she knew what investment banking was.
Seriously?
And if he should, take the time to explain it to her.
Wow. The mansplaining is strong with this one. That need to dominate the conversation. Huge red flag, right? Masking insecurity.
Textbook insecurity, masked as competence. But here's where it gets even weirder and more analytical. He reveals this bizarre rule he has.
A rule? For dating?
Yeah, he says he doesn't date people who recently moved to the city.
Why not?
Because, according to him, they are dating hella people and haven't found their community yet.
Okay. That sounds less like a standard and more like Projection.
Exactly what the user called him out on.
Yeah.
She pointed out he was just projecting his own past experiences from moving to Hong Kong and his own insecurities onto her.
How did he react to being called out?
Poorly. Tried to regain control by launching into this pedantic lecture about Chinese dialects, Mandarin versus Cantonese.
Oh my God.
And capped it off by asking her, condescendingly, "Do you know who Mao is?"
As if she wouldn't. Wow.
This guy had failed his own screening test spectacularly. And the kicker. The user noted he admitted he hadn't even viewed her profile properly.
Hadn't looked at her profile, insulted her eligibility based on his random rules, mansplained basic concepts.
And still expected her to be thrilled to continue the date. That's pure entitlement. Believing his mere presence is reward enough to overlook atrocious behavior.
Unbelievable. Okay, next up. A modern classic scam.
The performer scammer or the provider influencer. This happened to a male friend of one of the sources.
Okay, set the scene.
He matched with a girl on Tinder. She suggests a very specific, very high-end hotel bar.
Okay, fancy first date.
But the transactional vibe started immediately. She shows up with a paid bodyguard.
A bodyguard on a Tinder date.
Highly visible bodyguard. Immediately signals something unusual is going on. And throughout the date, she just relentlessly grills him.
About what?
His finances, annual income, job, and whether he owns any property. She wasn't making conversation, she was gathering data points.
Like a market research survey.
Pretty much. And the whole thing was basically performance art. She was openly filming the date on her phone.
Filming the date? Why?
And performing, as the friend described it, a white woman version of the Beyoncé hair flip for the camera constantly.
Okay, so what was the scam?
The date itself was the content. She was running a whole online persona and business, selling an ebook called something like How to Find Provider Men.
No way.
Yes. The date was fodder for her social media, posts captioned with things like, set your standards high and you'll end up only dating providers who take you to the Ritz.
So she was faking the lifestyle using these dates. What about the bodyguard?
Part of the performance, presumably, to project status. And even the expensive flower bouquets she posted online, also faked. The date confirmed he never sent them. It was all a calculated marketing campaign using dating apps as her lead funnel.
Wow. Deceptive on multiple levels. Okay, let's shift to a mix of boundary violation and stalking light.
Right, the story we're calling the Grenoble Honker.
This one's particularly sad because it involves an 18-year-old student who admitted she really struggled with saying no and avoiding conflict.
Which unfortunately makes someone a prime target for aggressive individuals who steamroll boundaries.
So what happened?
This highlights that people-pleasing trap. A guy she matched with, barely knew, definitely hadn't invited over, just shows up at her university dorm building at 11 p.m.
Late night uninvited visit. Big red flag already.
And he doesn't just knock. He starts repeatedly honking his car horn and shouting her first name.
Why her first name?
Because apparently the residents' first names were posted on the front door directory or something. So we found it and just started yelling and honking.
He wasn't trying to be charming. He was creating a public scene to force her to come down.
Exactly. Pure manipulation through public pressure. And her people-pleasing instinct kicked right in.
What was her main worry?
Her overriding fear wasn't for her safety at that moment. It was about alienating her neighbors because of the noise.
Oh, bless her. So she went downstairs?
Went downstairs in her pajamas, just wanting to make the disruption stop, ask him to leave.
And the guy himself?
First impression. Physically sturdier than imagined from his photos.
Yeah.
And his car. A filthy utility vehicle.
Okay, and inside the car?
This is where it gets really scary. She looked inside and saw tools everywhere. But not just any tools. Hammers, screwdrivers, ropes, buckets of paint.
Okay, context is everything. For a contractor, maybe normal. For a stranger showing up uninvited at 11 p.m., terrifying.
Yeah.
Potential weapons.
Exactly. They look like potential implements of a threat in that context.
Yeah.
And what does he do?
He drives her somewhere. She got in the car.
Yes. She got in, maybe trying to de-escalate or get him away from the dorm. He proceeds to drive her to a deserted industrial zone at night.
No. Terrible situation. Did she say anything?
He was apparently ignoring her obvious discomfort. She said she had to summon real courage, fight that people-pleasing urge, and finally demand he take her home.
Good for her for finding her voice in that moment, but the most shocking part is his reaction the next day, right?
Utterly baffling. Complete lack of awareness. He messages her the next morning saying, I loved this evening.
He loved it after terrifying her and driving her to an industrial zone.
Followed immediately by an unsolicited D-pic.
Of course, just confirms he had zero clue or zero care.
For him, the date was apparently a success. He was completely oblivious to her obvious distress, her need to escape, this fundamental inability to read social cues, to empathize. It's a massive marker for potential psychological disturbance.
Definitely beyond just an ick. Okay, we have a few more rapid-fire examples of extreme icks that show deep instability or selfishness. We should touch on these too.
Yeah, let's run through them. They each reveal something important. First, the major deceit category.
The guy who dated a woman for a whole month thought things were going well.
Only to find out she had a child.
Yep. Discovered it via her Mother's Day Instagram story.
Wow. A month without mentioning a child. That's not just forgetting. That's deliberate.
Total emotional fraud, really. A life-defining fact omitted.
Right.
And apparently the relationship just blew up after that with huge arguments.
And her own family members warned the guy to run. That confirms it wasn't just a simple omission. Something deeper and more unstable was going on with her behavior.
Okay, next level boundary violation. The unwanted interrogation or the Priyanka story.
Oh, this one is wild. Guy shows up for a first Tinder date at a restaurant. Finds her mother and father sitting there at the table with her, waiting for him.
What type? An ambush.
Total ambush. The date instantly turned into this hostile, aggressive interrogation by the parents.
What did they ask?
The father apparently took charge immediately. Are you a doctor? A lawyer?
Yeah.
Just drilling him.
So it wasn't a date, it was a surprise screening for a potential son-in-law.
Exactly. A high-pressure, hostile, arranged marriage-style interview scenario, basically.
Yeah.
And when the guy revealed his actual profession, which involved some side content creation,
They didn't prove.
the father literally stood up, ended the dinner right there, and dismissed him. They used the dating app purely as a trap to lure guys into this bizarre family vetting process.
That is deeply strange and manipulative. Okay, how about the masterclass in disrespect?
Ah, the date who forgot twice.
So the guy completely forgets the first scheduled date.
Yep. Just blows it off. She gives him a second chance. They make a plan for dinner out.
And he forgets again.
Forgets the plan again. Doesn't forget to contact her, but tells her last minute, oh, just meet me at my house instead.
Downgrade from dinner out to his house.
Okay, then he makes her wait while he stops at Walmart for dog food.
Seriously, on the way to their date at his house.
And finally appears, unshowered, wearing a wife beater and shorts, and offers her a microwaved cauliflower pizza.
Oh, the romance. That's just a perfect storm of apathy and entitlement, isn't it?
Completely. Forgetting plans, making her wait, zero effort in grooming, offering sad microwave food. The signal is crystal clear. Her time, her energy, her standards mean nothing. He just wanted a captive audience on his couch. Not a partner, not even a real date.
Okay, then there's the just plain goofy, awkward date.
Yeah, this guy revealed his colors pretty quickly. Used the term libtard unironically early on.
Oof. Okay, instant red flag for many. What else?
Immediately judged her based on her star sign. Asked really invasive questions about her sexuality, like speculating about her bi energy. Just clumsy and boundary pushing.
And the date ended how?
It culminated when he leaned in for a kiss, and her body literally recoiled. She described it as a visible, oh no reaction, a physical rejection her body forced before her brain could even process it.
The body knows. That intuition again.
Always listen to the body. And finally, the emotional gut punch delivered by the ex-girlfriend guy.
Okay, what happened here? He seemed good at first.
Apparently perfect. 5 dates. Chivalrous, attentive, seemed totally available, everything pointing towards something real. But the first time they were intimate, the sexual encounter itself was quiet, dry, awkward, just emotionally disconnected.
Okay, that can happen, but
His reaction after that seals it. He literally gets out of bed, stands there, and starts singing the U2 lyric, I still haven't found what I'm looking for.
he sang that after sex to her.
Yep. A cinematic, almost cruel confirmation of his profound emotional unavailability. He wasn't looking for her specifically. He was just trying to fill some chronic internal void and failing. Devastating mic drop moment.
Wow. The common thread in all these icks, from the finance bro to the cauliflower pizza guy to Mr. U2.
It's the expectation, isn't it? The expectation that their date, that you will prioritize their chaos, their ego, their needs, their projections above your own comfort, safety, and standards.
So, okay, we've been through a lot. Misogynistic trolls, stalkers, potential cannibals, ambush interviews, profound disrespect. What does this all mean for you, the listener, trying to date safely?
How do we synthesize all this? We need to categorize these warning levels into something actionable.
Right, because not every bad date is a dangerous bait, but some bad behavior definitely signals potential danger.
Exactly. That synthesis is the whole point of this deep dive. Let's try to create some clear risk categories based on what we've heard.
Okay, lay them out.
Category 1, apathy and incompetence. These are your low-risk icks.
Like the cauliflower pizza guy?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Him, the guy mansplaining Mao, maybe the awkward U2 singer. They're self-absorbed, lack self-awareness. They'll waste your time, guarantee a miserable experience, but probably not immediate physical danger, just bad bait.
Okay. Category 2.
Category 2, projection and entitlement. This is medium risk, more of an emotional threat.
So the finance bro with his rules.
Him, yes. The Mother's Day deceiver. The Hinge guy, before the stalking started, with his aggressive insults. These people seek to control you, define you. They project their issues onto you, and will likely escalate arguments aggressively if you challenge their narrative. Significant emotional threat here.
Gotcha. And category 3?
Category 3, calculated malice and immediate physical danger. This is high risk. Very high risk.
This is the tattoo apprentice stalker? The musket guy?
Yes, the cannibal crockpot guy. The Yonkers ambush setup. These individuals show rapid escalation, deliberate isolation tactics, confirmed stalking behavior, displays of weapons or threats, unambiguous signs of immediate physical danger.
Okay, those categories are helpful. Low, medium, high risk, based on the type of behavior.
And the crucial element we saw in the survival stories, especially the musket guy, the cannibal.
It's intuition, right? That gut feeling.
Absolutely. That feeling deep down that says, this isn't right, get out. Even when the person seems superficially okay or you can't quite name why you feel scared, that is your most powerful defense mechanism.
We have to honor that feeling.
We really do. Remember the woman with the musket? She felt horrible walking in, but tried to rationalize it away as nerves. The users who felt sketched out for really no reason there was a reason, their subconscious picked up on signals.
If your body is signaling panic or disorientation or that physical recoil like the woman avoiding the kiss,
That's vital information. Trust it. Act on it immediately. Don't talk yourself out of it.
it really brings us back to the beginning. In this world of dating apps where everyone curates this ideal online self,
Yeah.
the real danger isn't just that people lie about their height or job. It's how easily those curated profiles can mask serious clinical disturbance or calculated malice.
Until you're face to face. Alone. Vulnerable. The informational asymmetry strikes again.
Which leads to the final, most critical question for everyone listening. How can you use everything we've talked about today, all these patterns and red flags, to bridge that information gap before the first date? How do you maximize your safety?
Standardizing your preparation has to be the key. Making safety checks automatic, not optional.
So what does that look like practically?
Safety rituals. Non-negotiable ones. Always screenshot their profile photos, bio, everything. Send it to a trusted friend.
Along with the date details.
Exactly. Specific, confirmed location and time sent to your safety contact. And vet that location beforehand. Look it up on a map. Is it public? Well lit. Busy.
And if it's remote, dark, unfamiliar, like that Yonkers parking lot?
Cancel. Immediately. If they push back on meeting somewhere public and safe for a first date, that is your final giant red flag right there. Their resistance tells you everything.
Always tell a friend exactly where you are, when you expect to be back, and have that escape plan ready.
Have that prearranged out call or text practiced and ready to go. The fake emergency, whatever works for you and your friend.
Because if the person is legitimate, reasonable.
They won't mind you prioritizing your safety. They might even be impressed. If they react badly, get annoyed or aggressive about you having a safety plan or wanting a public venue, they've just shown their hand. Their intent is selfish, possibly hostile, maybe even malicious.
Listen to your gut, trust the red flags, have a plan, and communicate it.
Absolutely. Stay safe out there. And remember, sometimes the best match is the one you wisely never meet in person.